She had tried everything. Vision boards covered her bedroom walls. Journals filled with affirmations sat stacked on her nightstand. She had read every book, followed every guru, and whispered her desires into the night sky more times than she could count. And still, nothing changed. Her bank account stayed empty. Her heart stayed lonely. Her dreams stayed stubbornly out of reach. Then one quiet Tuesday morning, something shifted. She sat down, closed her eyes, and for exactly 3 minutes, just 3 minutes, she said something different. Not longer prayers. Not more complicated rituals. Just 3 minutes of the right words, spoken with the right feeling, from a place she had never accessed before. By the end of the week, she received a phone call she had been waiting 2 years to receive. By the end of the month, she had moved into a new apartment, started a new job, and met someone who looked at her the way she had always dreamed of being seen. Her friends called it luck. She called it something else. She had discovered what Louise Hay had quietly taught for decades, that the universe does not respond to desperation. It does not respond to effort. It responds to alignment. And alignment, it turns out, can be reached in 3 minutes or less, if you know exactly what to say. What you are about to learn is not a trick. It is not a shortcut. It is a return to the truth of who you are, spoken aloud, felt deeply, and offered to the intelligence that governs all of creation. Stay with this. Because what you are about to hear could change everything. Welcome to this space, a space created for those who are ready. Not ready to try harder. Not ready to want more. But ready to receive more, because they have finally understood that manifestation is not about force. It is about flow. Louise Hay spent a lifetime teaching the world a radical truth, that our words create our world. That the thoughts we think and the sentences we speak are not passive reflections of reality, they are the architects of it. Every single day, we are either building the life we desire or reinforcing the walls that keep it away, and we are doing it with nothing more than the language we use inside our own minds. For many of us, that language has been inherited. Passed down from parents who were afraid, from teachers who were limited, from cultures that taught scarcity before abundance, doubt before faith, and struggle before ease. And so we carry those words. We repeat them without realizing it. We speak them so fluently that they feel like truth, when in fact, they are simply old habits wearing the costume of reality. The practice you are about to learn is rooted entirely in Louise Hay's philosophy of self-love, affirmation, and energetic alignment. It requires no special equipment, no years of training, and no perfect conditions. It requires only 3 minutes of your honest, open attention, and the willingness to speak words that are truer than the ones your fear has been whispering. In the chapters ahead, you will be guided through 7 transformational affirmation practices, each one designed to unlock a different layer of your manifesting power. You will move through the energy of worthiness, gratitude, identity, release, love, abundance, and divine trust. Together, these 7 keys form a complete practice that resets your frequency and opens the channel between your desires and their fulfillment. Whether you are new to affirmations or have been working with them for years, something in this practice will reach you. Something will land differently. Something will finally click. The universe has been listening for you. Now, you are learning to speak its language. Let's begin. The power of your own voice. There is a vibration in your voice that no instrument on earth can fully replicate. When you speak, you are not simply producing sound, you are emitting energy, and that energy shapes the field around you in ways that science is only beginning to understand. Louise Hay knew this long before the research arrived to confirm it. For most of your life, you have used your voice to describe what is, to narrate the conditions you find yourself in, to repeat the complaints, the worries, the running commentary of a mind trained to observe lack. But your voice is capable of something far greater than narration. It is capable of creation. When you speak an affirmation aloud, truly aloud, not in a whisper you are ashamed of, but in a full and grounded tone something neurological happens. Your brain does not distinguish clearly between what is vividly imagined and what is real. When you say, "I am worthy of love," your nervous system begins to reorganize itself around that statement. This is why the 3-minute practice works. 3 minutes is not a long time, but it is long enough to shift your dominant vibration. It is long enough to interrupt the loop of lack and replace it with the frequency of receiving. It is long enough for the body to believe what the voice is saying. Begin your 3 minutes by finding your voice. Literally. Sit upright, feel your feet on the floor, take a breath that reaches your belly, and open your mouth. Say your own name aloud. Say it as though it is sacred, because it is. Your name is the first affirmation you were ever given. For many of us, it has been spoken in frustration, in disappointment, in absence. Now, reclaim it. Say it gently, with respect, with the same tenderness you would offer a child you loved completely. From this place of grounded self-acknowledgement, every affirmation that follows carries more power. You are not performing. You are not pretending. You are speaking from the seat of your own truth, and the universe recognizes that frequency immediately. Louise Hay often reminded her students, "You are the only person who thinks in your mind. You are the power and authority in your world. Your voice is the instrument of that authority. It is time to use it with intention." As you practice, notice any resistance. Notice the inner voice that says this is silly, that it won't work, that you've tried before. That voice is not your truth, it is your conditioning. Thank it, and continue speaking. The new voice always outlasts the old one when you are consistent. Repeat aloud now, and feel each word. My voice is powerful. My words create my world. I speak with love, and the universe listens. I am ready to receive everything I have asked for. Worthiness, the root of all receiving. You cannot receive what you do not believe you deserve. This is the hidden block beneath most unfulfilled manifestations, not a lack of desire, not a lack of effort, but a deep and unexamined belief that you are somehow not enough, not ready, not worthy of the life you want. Louise Hay identified self-worth as the foundation of all healing and all abundance. She taught that until we address the core belief, "I am not enough," every technique, every ritual, every affirmation will be like pouring water into a cracked vessel. The work begins at the root. Unworthiness is almost always inherited, not chosen. It arrives in the form of a parent's careless word, a teacher's dismissal, a childhood experience that taught you that love was conditional, that you had to earn your place. None of that was true then, and it is not true now. The affirmation practice for worthiness does not ask you to fake confidence. It asks you to return to something that was always true, that you were born worthy. That your value was never something to be proven. That the universe did not create you as a mistake or an afterthought. When you say, "I am worthy," you are not being arrogant. You are not claiming superiority over anyone. You are simply aligning with the fact of your own divine origin, the truth that you were brought into existence by the same creative intelligence that designed galaxies and grew forests. For the next 3 minutes, breathe into your chest before each affirmation. Let the words enter the body, not just the mind. Worthiness must be felt, not merely thought. It must move through you like warmth, not sit on the surface like a label. If you feel emotional during this practice, let it come. Tears during affirmation work are not weakness, they are release. They are the old story loosening its grip. They are the body saying, "Finally. Someone is telling me the truth." The world will begin to treat you according to how you treat yourself. When your inner frequency says, "I am worthy," the outer world reorganizes to reflect that. Opportunities appear. Relationships improve. Doors that were inexplicably closed begin, quietly, to open. Speak this slowly, with your hand on your heart. I am deeply and completely worthy of love, abundance, and joy. I release every belief that told me otherwise. I was worthy before I achieved anything, and I remain worthy right now, exactly as I am. This is not wishful thinking. This is the most honest thing you have ever said. Worthiness is not earned, it is remembered. And you are remembering it now. Gratitude as a manifesting frequency. Gratitude is not a polite response to receiving good things. It is a frequency, one of the most powerful manifesting frequencies available to you, and it can be accessed at any moment, regardless of your current circumstances. When you live in genuine gratitude, you are energetically saying to the universe, "More of this, please." You are broadcasting the signal of abundance, and abundance, following the law of resonance, must send more of itself back to you. This is not metaphor. This is how energy works. Louise Hay was famous for her morning gratitude practice. She would begin each day by blessing everything in her life: the warm bed, the breath in her lungs, the water from the tap, the unknown goodness already on its way. She treated gratitude not as an occasional feeling but as a daily discipline. The challenge most people face is that they postpone gratitude. They plan to be grateful when things improve. But this approach inverts the law. Gratitude does not follow abundance, gratitude creates abundance. The sequence must be reversed. In your 3-minute practice, spend 1 full minute in pure, unstructured gratitude. Do not make a list in your head. Simply feel. Feel the miracle of your own heartbeat. Feel the extraordinary fact that you exist, that out of infinite possibility, here you are, alive, breathing, aware. From this foundation of felt gratitude, introduce specific gratitudes that bridge your current reality to your desired one. Thank the universe for the abundance that is already flowing toward you, even if it has not yet arrived in visible form. This is not deception, it is faith, practiced as affirmation. Say, "Thank you for the opportunities already moving in my direction. Thank you for the love that is finding its way to me. Thank you for the financial flow that is clearing every block and arriving now." Speak these with conviction, as though reporting facts, because energetically, they are. Notice how your body responds when you speak from gratitude rather than from wanting. Wanting creates tension, a reaching, a grasping. Gratitude creates expansion and openness, a readiness. The universe can only deliver into an open hand. End this segment of your practice by extending gratitude inward. Thank you, body, for carrying me. Thank you, mind, for expanding. Thank you, heart, for remaining open. Thank you, soul, for guiding me here. Gratitude is the fastest road between where you are and where you want to be. Walk it every single day. Identity, becoming who you were born to be. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. This distinction is the key that unlocks the door. Every serious manifestor eventually reaches the understanding that lasting change is not about doing differently, but about being differently. Identity is simply the story you tell about yourself, repeated so many times it has calcified into belief. I am someone who struggles with money. I am someone who isn't lucky in love. I am someone who always gets sick. These stories are not facts, they are affirmations in reverse, practiced unconsciously for years. The 3-minute identity practice invites you to consciously rewrite your story. Not to lie to yourself, but to choose a truer version of who you are, one that aligns with your potential rather than your past. Louise Hay's foundational teaching was, "I love and approve of myself." Simple. Radical. Transformative. Because when you truly love and approve of yourself, your identity reorganizes around that love, and you begin to make choices, attract people, and inhabit circumstances that reflect a loved and approved of being. Begin your identity affirmations in the present tense. Not, "I will be abundant." Not, "I am becoming confident." But, "I am abundant. I am confident. I am whole. I am guided. I am enough." The present tense is not a lie, it is a declaration of your energetic truth, which always precedes physical manifestation. Write your new identity in 3 sentences before your practice, then speak those sentences aloud during your 3 minutes. Make them specific enough to feel personal, broad enough to feel limitless. Example: I am a person who is deeply loved, financially free, and living fully in my purpose. Repeat this identity statement slowly, at least 5 times. On each repetition, add more feeling. Let your body posture match the words. Sit taller, breathe fuller, soften your face. The body is a powerful participant in identity work. When the old identity tries to reassert itself, and it will meet it with compassion rather than battle. Say, "That was then. This is who I am now." Do not fight the past self. Simply choose the new one over and over, until it becomes the default. Identity shifts do not happen overnight, but they do happen consistently. Every 3-minute practice is one more layer of the new story laid over the old. Every repetition deepens the groove. Every day, the new you becomes more real than the one the fear invented. Say it now, and mean it completely: I am worthy of my dreams. I am a magnet for miracles. I am the person my desires have been waiting for. I step fully into this truth, right now, without reservation. Release, clearing the path for what is coming. Manifestation is not only about calling in, it is equally about letting go. For every desire you hold, there is likely a corresponding resistance of fear, a doubt, a deeply held belief that says what you want cannot come to you. Release work is the practice of dissolving that resistance. Louise taught that the root of most suffering is resistance to change, to forgiveness, to love, to the natural flow of life. She discovered this through her own healing journey and spent decades teaching others to release what no longer served them, making space for what was longing to arrive. Release does not mean pretending you don't feel what you feel. It means acknowledging what you feel, honoring it, and then consciously choosing not to carry it forward. You can grieve and release simultaneously. You can feel fear and release it in the same breath. In your 3-minute release practice, bring to mind one thing that has been weighing on you: a resentment, a worry, a narrative of lack. Hold it gently in your awareness. Then, say aloud, "I release you. I no longer need you to protect me. I am safe without you." Breathe out slowly after each release statement. The exhale is a physical act of letting go, the body participating in the clearing. Do not rush it. Let the breath do the work. The words have begun. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful forms of release. Louise Hay was unequivocal about this. Unforgiveness is a poison we drink hoping someone else will suffer. It blocks the flow of good more thoroughly than almost any other energy. To forgive is not to excuse, it is to free yourself. Say, "I forgive everyone who has ever hurt me. I forgive every circumstance that felt unjust. I forgive myself for every choice I made when I didn't know better. I release all of this now, completely and with love." As you release, notice what feels lighter. Notice where tension leaves the body. Notice the quiet that follows a true release. That is the sound of space being created. That is the sound of the channel opening. What you release makes room for what you've been asking for. The job cannot arrive if you are still imprisoned by the story of the last one. The love cannot enter if the door is barricaded with old pain. Release is not weakness, it is wisdom. Close this chapter of your practice by saying, "The past is complete. I release it with gratitude for all it taught me. I step into this present moment clear, open, and ready. What is mine is on its way, and nothing can stop it." Love, the highest manifesting vibration. Of all the frequencies available to a human being, love is the highest. It is also the most frequently misunderstood. Love, in the context of manifestation, is not romantic sentiment, it is a state of being, a fundamental orientation toward life that says, "All is well. I am safe. I am connected. I belong." Louise Hay built her entire teaching on the foundation of self-love, because she understood something the modern world still struggles to accept, that you cannot truly love anything, a person, a dream, a life, until you love yourself. Self-love is not selfishness. It is the prerequisite of everything. When you are in the vibration of love, the manifesting process accelerates dramatically. This is because love removes the energetic static that interferes with clear communication between you and the universe. Fear distorts the signal. Love clarifies it. Begin the love segment of your practice by placing both hands on your heart. Feel the warmth beneath your palms. Feel your own pulse, that rhythm that has never once missed a beat, that has kept you alive through every difficulty, every night you thought you couldn't make it through. Say aloud, "I love you." Say it to yourself, the way you would say it to someone you cherish completely. Let there be no irony, no embarrassment, no distance. Just the bare and honest truth of a soul speaking to itself with full acceptance. From this place of self-love, extend love outward to the people in your life, to strangers you will never meet, to the world in all its imperfect, striving, magnificent complexity. The more love you radiate, the more love the field returns to you. This is the law of love, and it never fails. Speak love affirmations as declarations of your natural state, not as aspirations. I am love. I am loved. I attract loving relationships. I give and receive love freely, easily, and joyfully. Love is the truth of who I am. If self-love feels difficult, if the words catch in your throat or the tears come, do not stop. Those tears are the old walls coming down. They are the evidence that the love is real and that it is reaching you. Keep speaking. The voice of love is stronger than the voice of shame. Louise Hay's most transformative exercise was looking into a mirror and saying, "I love you," to your own reflection. If you have not done this, try it after this practice. It will show you exactly where you are in your healing, and it will also begin to move you further, faster than almost anything else. End this chapter in the full warmth of your own love. I am love itself, flowing freely through this body, this life, this world. Everything I touch is blessed by this love. Everything I desire is drawn to this love. I am home. Divine trust, surrendering to the intelligence that knows. You have done the inner work. You have spoken your worthiness, your gratitude, your new identity. You have released what no longer serves you, and you have opened yourself to the frequency of love. Now comes the final and perhaps most challenging practice of all, trust. Trust is not passive. It is not giving up or going limp or pretending you have no role in your own life. Trust is the active choice to believe that the intelligence behind all of creation, the same intelligence that designed your immune system, that organizes the seasons, that knows exactly how a seed becomes a forest, also knows how to bring your desires to life. Louise Hay often spoke of a divine order beneath all apparent chaos. She believed, with her whole heart, that the universe is always conspiring in our favor, that delays are not denials, that detours are not dead ends, that the timing of the universe is always perfect, even when it is not our timing. The enemy of trust is the need to control. When we grip our desires too tightly, when we obsessively monitor for results, when we demand that manifestation arrive on our schedule and in our format, we squeeze the life out of the very thing we are trying to create. Trust means open hands, not clenched fists. In this final segment of your 3-minute practice, speak your desires aloud one more time, clearly, lovingly, without attachment to how or when. Then, consciously release them. Say, I place this in the hands of the universe. I trust completely in divine timing and divine order. This is not surrender to helplessness. It is surrender to wisdom, to the recognition that there is an intelligence far greater than your planning mind that knows the most elegant path to everything you have asked for. Your job is to align. The universe's job is to deliver. Trust also means acting on inspiration when it comes. Manifestation is a co-creative process. You align, the universe moves, and then it will send you impulses, ideas, and opportunities. Trust means following those impulses without demanding to see the full staircase before you take the first step. Speak your trust aloud. I trust the process. I trust the timing. I trust that everything I have asked for is already arranged and is moving toward me now. I do not need to see it to believe it. I believe it, and therefore I will see it. The practice of divine trust transforms waiting into a form of sacred presence. Instead of anxious watching, you move through your days in quiet confidence, doing your work, loving your people, enjoying what is, knowing that what is coming is even better than what you can currently imagine. Close your full 3-minute practice here, with these words, spoken slowly, with your whole being behind them. I am aligned. I am worthy. I am grateful. I am love. I trust. I receive. It is done. It is done. It is done. And so it is. You have just completed something profound. Not because the words were complicated, they were simple. Not because the practice was long, it was 3 minutes. But because you showed up. Because you opened your mouth and let truth come out. Because you chose, even for a fraction of your day, to speak from the deepest and most honest part of who you are. Louise Hay spent decades watching people transform their lives through exactly this kind of practice. She saw people heal from illness, emerge from poverty, rebuild shattered relationships, and discover purposes they had buried under years of fear, all because they made the radical choice to change the conversation they were having with themselves. She was not selling magic. She was teaching something ancient, something built into the architecture of your own consciousness, that what you believe about yourself determines what you experience in your life, and that beliefs, no matter how old, no matter how stubborn, can always be changed. You do not have to believe everything you said today for it to begin working. You only have to be willing. Willingness is the doorway, and you have already walked through it. Come back to this practice tomorrow. Come back the day after. Come back when it feels easy, and come back especially when it does not. Each time you return, you are deepening the groove of a new truth, a truth that says you are worthy, you are loved, you are supported, and you are exactly where you need to be on the way to where you are going. The universe heard every word you just spoke. Trust that. Receive that. And know in the quiet, certain way that lives beneath all the noise that everything is already on its way to you.